Hello friends. So it's been long time meeting you all. Thank you for subscribing still. It motivates me to post much more video in this channel. And as of now, I finished my masters, joined a job in the US, and I guess many people inquired about how to write an SOP, how to write an LOR and resume basically. So in this series, I started with SOP, and let's see how to write a good SOP in order to get a master's admit. I personally applied for 8 university and I got 7 admits out of 8. So I guess my SOP is pretty good. So I'll say how to structure an SOP and how to write an SOP. And also we'll be using ChatGPT in this session. So we'll see how to use that at the end of the session. But see below for the time if you want to skip to the ChatGPT part and use it directly. But in case if you want to know how to structure a proper SOP, come along with this video. Let's get started. So before seeing into my SOP, we'll see how to structure your SOP basically. Your SOP structure should be like what motivates you in your engage for studying the electrical engineering, or means my background is electrical engineering, so I'm writing as electrical engineering. Whatever the background you are studying in, you should say like at your young age what motivates you towards it. Later you can speak like what are the projects you did in your undergrad, or what motivates you to like for a master's or something if you are coming out of undergrad direct to a master's. But in case if you have a job experience, speak about your job experience and say like why you decided to do masters now, and specifically in that particular university or something. The paragraph 3 should address that, and the paragraph 4 should speak about like more about University of Florida, their department, their labs, and what is your future goal after studying your masters from the University of Florida or something like that. And the fifth paragraph, the concluding paragraph, should be like you should say that you are a strong contender for this university, and also you can be like thanking them for considering your application or something like that. This is the structure which I basically uses for all the universities, and almost all the university SOP I'll be having just 5 paragraphs, and I'll be try to keep always in one page SOP. So having a long SOP is good, but it is not advisable. So always having a one page SOP is always good. So I used a one page SOP. I would suggest you also the same. Let's see how to write an SOP structure initially, and I'll be giving you tips about ChatGPT in the end. We are basically going to use this same 5 points in the ChatGPT, and we'll be creating an SOP with the help of our resume. So in case if you have a resume, then we can use in the ChatGPT like this is my resume and this is the 5 points which my SOP I like it to look like. Then you can take it and then you can edit it. But let's go to that part in the end. Let's see how to write the SOP here. So I'm writing here like as I told what motivates me from my childhood to electrical engineering. That's what I'm writing here. So, and also I mentioned like the growth of electronics engineering is remarkable, and I thought like studying more will be helpful for me. So that's my first paragraph, and it's very crisp. I don't have like so much stories or something. I just write it crisp, so it will be better. And then the second passage is going to be like you will be as I mentioned here, the second paragraph is about my undergrad and what projects I did there. So I'm writing it there in the second paragraph like what I did in my B electrical and electronics engineering, and then I'm telling like I started small from a line follower project, then I went to a brain controlled wheelchair project, then I started a YouTube channel for beginners. Like I started it basically for science, but later it changed. So at that point of time when I write SOP, it was like this. And then I expand my intellectual boundaries. I started wireless charging station, and I even published few papers. So it is going to have some 4 or 5 good projects and good points about my projects, and that will be all. So for example, in case if you take a look how crisp your project should be is, let's take a look at this. I wrote like I developed a brain controlled wheelchair using an EEG headset for differently abled persons by measuring brain waves, and controlled it using Arduino microcontroller and Bluetooth. That's it. So I just giving one point, and it should be explain, and it should explain what components you used, and what was your intention, and everything. It should give the idea. And the similar way, if you see here, I wrote here like line follower, obstacle avoider, and vacuum cleaner robots using Admega 16 gave me the motivation to do more research. So then I came to this point. Then I came to this point. So it should be like a story. So try to always maintain a story which will tell you like why you are doing this, or to that point, to that end point. We need to develop the story like that. Later I am telling I was a junior research assistant in blah 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 some company. I was doing some project over there. That was my after my undergrad. I was doing that for a year, so I was mentioning that. And then so now I'm telling like now I feel like masters in electrical and computer engineering in University of Florida will be the best point for me, because I know that there is two labs, and also their course structure is well structured, and also I like this professor so much, so I want to come to your university. That's my point, dude. So that's my point, guys. So basically, for few people, we might only, you might have only done undergrad, and you might be looking for coming for a master's. So or few people will be having more than 4 or 5 years of work experience. It again changes from person to person, but for me this structure worked well. For you, in case if you coming straight out of the undergrad, then after finishing this state like you did you understand now this is the right time for you to move out and study masters. And then instead of using these about my work experience, you include like one or two projects which is been undergoing in the in your university whichever you are applying, and then say like for this university I saw your project, this project are very much interested to me, so I like to learn more about it, and I like to do collaboration with these professors and these laboratories. That will showcase that you also researched their university, and it will also showcase your interest, genuine interest in their university. That is in a way good way to write your SOP. And then also one more point what you can write is after masters what you are trying to achieve out of it, because we should have a long term vision, right? It shouldn't be like I just want to come to your university, I want to study. You should know what is you are trying to achieve out of it, so try to write about it too. That's what I'm writing here. I'm saying like I like to go into a reputable company and grow in my career or something like that I wrote. So and University of Florida have all those necessary cutting edge techniques, and like they will teach that cutting edge technique things. I'm telling that. So the last point, as I mentioned, you just need to say that you are a strong candidate for this position, and also you need to be thanking the university for considering your application. That will be all. So basically, it's going to be just 5 paragraph, and just write about it. You don't need to go here and there, tell blah blah blah, many stories and stuff. You can be crisp, and you can be like come point to point to point. And many people uh, like if they like to write about their leadership experience, or in case if you have some sport like some football, or here whatever the football you want to write about it, or in case if you want to write about games you can mention it. That will also be good. I basically felt like it was not relevant to me at that point, so I didn't mention anything. But in case if you are interested, you can use it. That is also a way of showcasing your SOP. And apart from this, guys, that's what my intended plan for today's thing. And I'll copy this and I'll paste this in ChatGPT, and I will show how to use ChatGPT for writing your SOP. I'm going to copy this. So I'm here, I'm saying like I'm pasting that, and I'm telling I'll be attaching my resume below. I'll say that, and I'll just click it. It's going to say, so what here happened is like I already attached my resume in the above just to test it, so it took it from there and it is writing. But yeah, so let's regenerate it, and in meantime we can come to my resume. So what I expect you to do is like basically take your professional experience and then take your research experience, everything together, and copy this and paste it in your chat GPT. Like before starting your asking the chat GPT to write your SOP, So by that way, it will know what we did in our like throughout our career or something. So it will better use that as a reference and it will write it. So please attach your resume task now. We are going to copy this resume from here until here. So I'm copying this. Here is my resume contents. Write an SOP. Now using now in the above mentioned 5-para format. It started writing. So it's going to give you like in a very proper way whatever we asked for it. After that, copy this and paste it in a separate like Word file and then start editing it. In case if you ask me, is this enough? Like, is there any tools which the university will have to detect whether I generated it from the AI or not? I'm not sure about it. But in case if you are writing an assignment, there is tools which will detect whether it's an ChatGPT generator, means not ChatGPT, any generative AI generated text or non generative AI generated text, you can detect it. So in case if they are using that, it will be a problematic. So basically, anyway, try to structure it by yourself again, read it through, write whichever points you need, enhance your SOP, use paraphrasing tool like Quillbot or something like this. This will be good to paraphrase. You can copy this, paste it there. It will again structure in a different way. There is standard, there is fluency, formal option, whichever you want, you can use it. So this is a better way to write an SOP in my understanding, because it makes our effort less and we can be much more productive. And I know many people will be like going for some third party agency or something. There is nothing harm in going there, but the amount of money which you are going to spend on them, it's not totally useful, because when you can write your own SOP if you sit for some time. Sorry guys. So when you can write your own SOP by sitting some time, then we can do a better job, right? So try to write by yourself, and in case if you feel you want some help or something, you can. I am attaching my WhatsApp group link below. You can post your SOP there. Me or other people will help you out. Thank you for your video, and we'll meet you in the next video. Bye. And in case if you want any help like in resume building or something, let me know. I'll make a next video for that. As I come here, I really do know that getting an internship is really hard without a proper resume, and even getting an admit from university is really hard without a proper resume. So try to do that, and all the best. Do well. I hope meet you all in USA soon. Bye.